Happy early Thanksgiving, everybody. How are you? It's your buddy Peter, Mobb Guppy. Just thought I'd drop in for a few minutes. Woke up a little bit early, so I'm hanging out. Maggie's right next to me. Maggie's my pooch. She's a Brittany, and she's just over 2 and very excited. Kind of sleeping on the couch, enjoying a cup of Joe, and getting ready to do what got kind of a I'm meeting some friends. Hey, Anthony's fishy friends. How are you? So I'm meeting some friends for breakfast in a couple of hours. I'll probably eat something really quick because I'm kind of hungry. And going to Waffle House. And if you've never been to Waffle House, let me tell you, if you live in an area of the country that doesn't have a Waffle House, you are living in a sad place. Waffle House is amazing. Now, that being said, there are things to get at Waffle House. Hey, Dr. Black, good day to you as well. And does Australia have a version of Thanksgiving? Do they have that type of day? It's, I know Canada has, I don't know what they call it. But so I am going to Waffle House. There's one thing to get at Waffle House that is beyond amazing. And no, it's not waffles. It's their pork chops and eggs, which are amazing. Ungrateful Mob in Australia, I doubt that. Aussies are amazing. Cup of Joe. I have a buddy of mine, Simon. He and his wife are from Sydney, I believe. And they've been living in the United States for about 25 years. And what I love about Australians is this. And one of my best friends from high school married an Aussie. And she built a lovely family with him. I love Australians because you guys are insane in all the best ways. All the best ways. And so there you go. So there you go. What's up, Maggie? You want to chew on your toys? Yeah. So I've defrosted a turkey. That's very traditional. And it's just for me. So I got a 16-pound turkey. I went out of town for Sunday night and a Monday, and put that turkey in the fridge to begin the defrosting process. So yesterday, the way home from work, and I get off work at around noon. So I picked up a pie because apple pie is part of the deal, and I wasn't going to bake one. So I picked up a pie. I had dinner. And oh yeah. It's a lot more eating than that for me. I'm gonna be cutting it up, putting it in freezer bags, put it in the freezer, go from there. So I picked up a pie, put it in the fridge, and I had a sane, healthy dinner. And then I promptly, I figured, you know what? I'm gonna dig in on that pie. So I cut myself a slice, and it was already kind of frozen. So hopefully that turkey will be there. Well, good night, Anthony. Yeah, my brother's a West Coast guy. My brother's in LA. And he and his wife are night owls. I like being a night owl. Unfortunately, I have to get up every day at 3 and for work. So today I got up at 3 with no prompting and couldn't get back to sleep. Could not get back to sleep. So there you go. Give me a second. I'm going to fill up my coffee. Get some more coffee here. I'm not a sophisticated coffee drinker. I know there's a lot of people that are into the high-end coffees. That's not me. I'm into high-end bourbon, high-end tequila, high-end, uh, high-end beers. I'm not a high-end coffee guy, and yeah, which is I know kind of weird because sometimes people are high-end type stuff. High-end heroin is the best. Yeah, you see, there you go. That's what I understand. It's I was talking. I have a buddy of mine who's a cop, and his main deal has been the drug beat. Fish Fam Link, how are you? So his main thing has been the drug beat. That's sort of his deal. And so my area of the country's had for a long time a real problem with the meth, with crystal methamphetamines, and so and he goes, heroin's rising real big. And I said, really? And he goes, yes, because it's cheap. The Afghanis need money. It's coming in cheap. And he goes, but here's the problem with heroin is that, people are not getting pure heroin. It's always being extended, and it's being extended a lot, and they're adding fentanyl to it. I'm going, that's good news. He goes, yeah. He said that they had to give Narcan, which is the opioid. If someone's ODing on opioids and they're still alive, if they give them a shot of Narcan, it brings them back to life. And they said going through the drive-through of a McDonald's, somebody was ODing, so they ran in. The cop gave him, Narcan and brought him back to life. And a lot of that is heroin induced. So yeah, there you go. It's I'm doing my last shipment of fish on Saturday. Now, normally I don't do Saturday shipping, but I think because we're now in the holiday season, that's probably my best thing. I'm shipping off some fish to our buddy Biggie's and sending off some fish to Doug Gray. And so there you go. So Doug wants more of the swordtails. And I'm going to throw in some California Reds, and I'm going to send Biggie some California Reds, and so that's going to be fun. And so tomorrow I'll have to get those boxes built, because today I'm cooking a turkey. Let's see, I have dressing or stuffing, depending on what kind of thing. Yeah, I'll tell you what, swordtail guppies are awesome. And I got it. There's sort of a guy that's really well known for swordtail guppies. He's been doing it for decades. A guy named Alan Bias, who's really, really good at them. And I got mine from Alan. And that's going back, almost 5 years. So I've had them in my tanks for 5 years, and I love it. Yes. Now, you're talking about swordtails. Yeah, Dr. Black, I was talking about the Guppy swords. And I love the big swordtails as well. Yeah, I'm a big fan. Maggie is, by the way, chomping on. And no worries, nothing bad there. So Maggie's chomping on a cow hoof. A cow hoof, everybody. And so she's doing that right now. So so my you're trying to breed yours back to feral colors. There's a guy in the United States, and I know shipping live things to Australia is a real difficult deal. But look up Greg Sage. Greg Sage is all in on native fishes, including native swordtails from different regions of Mexico. And I think it's primarily Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, where you could find swordtails in the wild. Yeah, you really probably need to, and you know, and once you get some drops out of that female, taking those females from that drop back to those two males, and building in as much genetic diversity as possible. One of the problems I have noticed with the swordtail guppies is that if I do too much inbreeding, and oh, cool, a stormwater drain Brisbane. Yeah. It once they at least the guppies, and I have a feeling this works with swordtails as well, is that I have found too much inbreeding really hurts the swords. Hey, no worries. No worries at all. I'm just here having a cup of coffee with my mates here. Before I have to eat something really quick and then shower and get ready to go out. So it, again, but I will tell you with what I've learned with live bearers is this, and is that you really, really have to pay attention to genetic diversity. And so that's the deal. Genetic diversity, and a lot of times when you buy fish, in the United States, they deliver you, it doesn't matter which live bearer it is, they deliver you a trio, a male and two females. And that's great. And, but I'm just going to tell you, is that you really have to pay attention. And, I know a lot of people who ship in fish from Asia to breed, from Thailand and Indonesia and Vietnam. They normally get in some of these, these new strains, and this could be strains of swordtails or guppies or whatever it is. They usually buy a couple of trios to maximize the amount of genetic diversity. I always, when I ship fish, even if people have bought a trio, I usually throw in an extra male and a female. And it's primarily because it adds genetic diversity. And I've been developing my own line, this California Reds line. And, I'm moving around males. I'm trying to create as much genetic diversity as possible. And because of that, I think will lead to the vigor of the strain. And, if you look at, and again, I hate to go back to the guppy thing, but it's a lesson for any live bearer, in my opinion. The IFGA, the International Fancy Guppy Association, they have sort of a chart of how you're supposed to line breed and inbreed and outcross. And they're big into, inbreeding a particular strain for 2-3 generations, and then, swap around and create, and cross over to your other part of the line. They call it line A and line B. Sometimes, in my opinion, you need to do line A, line B, line C, but again, it depends on the strain. With my swordtail guppies, If they inbreed too much, I begin to lose sorts. Yeah, well, without line breeding though, it's and paying attention to superior traits, you'll never get them. So there has to be some line breeding. There has to be some inbreeding with a especially specialty developed lines of swordtails or guppies. Oh yeah, and I agree with you, Dr. Black. It's and I have seen this with people who have bred angelfish. And I have a feeling this works with discus as well, but I've not really worked around discus that much. Hey, no worries. No worries. No need to apologize. Yeah, so it's going out and you know here's the one thing also that if you want to do the angelfish or the discus, which are amazing, I've had angelfish in my fish room. I've never really worked with them as in breeding them and stuff like that. But here's what I have learned is that if you're after a specific style, let's say the koi angelfish, which are gorgeous, um generally what they recommend is, getting like 6 young ones, putting them in a large tank and allowing them to pair off. In my opinion, is you should get, you know, 4 from 2 different breeders, even though their root genetics are the same. They've been apart for long enough that you have enough genetic diversity. So all of a sudden you'll end up with, hopefully 2 or 3 pairs, and those pairs will be out crosses, and you'll go from there. Yeah, in my opinion, is that you know, swordtails, platies, guppies are all the same way. Those males just chase around that female relentlessly, even one on one. Generally speaking, they say with swordtails you want, or any type of the more common live bearers, you want at least 2 or 3 females per male. So what you can do is is that you could put is rotate those males through per drop of fry. So what they've learned with us with this style of live bearer, you breed a swordtail female once and she'll keep giving birth even if there's not a male around. But what they have learned is this, and there was a big concern that, and a huge concern that if by accident you had a female live bearer, guppy, platy, swordtail, whatever it is, and they bred one time with a lesser male, that female would be ruined because she would be delivering fry from the first male that she was exposed to. They have found that to be complete poppycock. In fact, through genetic testing, they have learned that while she may drop a couple of fry from a previous breeding, about 99% of the guppies that she, or the swordtails or the platies or the mollies that she gives birth to, are from the most recent male that she bred to. So there you go. And yeah, nerds, absolutely. God help us. So Maggie's now on the couch sleeping. Let's see, what other little notes do I have? Hey, thank you very much. Yeah, I am going to grow it out. I'm in the process now. I My office, we do this bit no shave November. So I shaved my beard on the last day of October. Shaved it clean and just started growing it back out. So yeah, I think I'm going to let the hair grow out and just slick it back. I can't can't hide the expanding forehead. I can't sit there and, do a flop over. And I'm just going to let it grow and just get it shaped. And I'm just going to comb it back now. Uh, I think that's sort of my deal. So, sort of my deal. And I have this on again, off again lady friend. I think we're on again. And I think she likes that. So, and I always like trying something new. It's, I get, especially as time goes on, and for those people in their, teens and 20s and 30s, they don't understand this, is that, or they don't understand the way they should. We're all habitual. We as human beings, we're naturally habitual. We like the same foods. We like the same way of preparing foods. We like the same music. There's a lot of people. Biggies, how are you, buddy? It's Guppies will be out first thing on Saturday morning. And I've got some good ones picked out for you. So on see you later, Dr. Black. Thank you very much. Go ahead and take care of it, and we will talk to you later. And yeah, so so the one thing I've learned is that always try something new. If you're at a restaurant and there's something on the menu you've never had before, try it. What's the deal? You may love it even more. Your lady doesn't enjoy when your hair dangles in her face. Yeah, There are ways around that, my friend. Ways around that. So yeah, so that's sort of the deal. So I just try new things. It's I never want to be, and yeah, well, this will be mine was pretty long, and I got my hair cut and I shaved it off, and now I'm just gonna grow it in. Scotty Aquati, good morning. Happy Thanksgiving. So I'm only gonna be around here for a few more minutes because I gotta make something to eat. I gotta shower and get ready to go do my crew at the office and I were meeting at Waffle House to have a real breakfast. But I prefer. Hey, no problem, Dr. Black. It's just great having you here. Great speaking with you as always. And so, yeah, I'm gonna go eat something real quick, not that much, and I'm gonna have like three big meals today. My first two meals will be will be in the next 4 hours. So, and then mid afternoon have a giant turkey. See ya. So I'm only gonna be around for a few more minutes. Thanks for dropping in, everybody. Yeah, because I just gotta get this done. Um, Other than that, yeah, Thanksgiving. I was last couple of years. I've done Thanksgiving at my sister's home. She lives in Chicago, and it's about an 8-hour drive from here. And Joplin, Missouri ain't one of your big towns. So, to fly, okay, you have to drive an hour to Springfield. So they want you there 90 minutes ahead of time. By the time the plane leaves, you've already spent 3 hours. Okay, you're at 6 hours by the time, you get to the sister's house in Chicago. Okay. Is it worth driving? In my opinion, yes, it is. What is up, Vi? Aloha. So my whole deal is that, yeah, and if I have to go to Tulsa, it's 2 hours. So it's technically, you're almost 4 hours away. Joplin International doesn't have flights go in and out every day. So you have to stagger everything. So it's just, and my rule is if the drive is 10 hours or less, I drive it. If I lived in a place that had, when I lived in New York, I lived in Hackensack, New Jersey for 7 years. When I lived there, well, guess what I could do? I could get on the, you could go and get a direct flight to almost anywhere. Even if it was a 10-hour drive, well, it'd be much quicker and, much less of a pain in the neck to fly. So generally what I did. So, all right, crew, thank you so much. And I'll be dropping in different times over the weekend. It's just me and Maggie hanging out all weekend long. I may even drop in later today. Have a great Thanksgiving to all, and to all, a good night.